Whoa! How'd you get there? Well, hey, you might as well check out some of the stuff in my collector's chest. Watch your head on the way down. Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Today we are looking at one of my favorites sets of the TCG his all time. This is a Japanese exclusive set. Parts of this were released in Tropical Mega Battle, which was a series of cards given to winners of a tournament. But this is the complete monster card set. I don't have all of the trainers included in here because they're all the same pretty much, and then many of them were recycled from other things. But these are all the trainer Pokemon, and as you can see on this page here and some of these other pages with the ring light shining in there, making getting in the way, that they all relate to Gen 2 trainers. But we're going to go through this whole thing here today and check out, like I said, in my opinion, one of the coolest sets that we ever got in the TCG, and unfortunately, never in English. Here we go. Alright, so this set is a lot like the Gym Challenge set and the Gym Heroes sets that we got in English, or Gym 1 and 2 in Japanese. But unlike those, these are from the e-reader era, except this was, I believe this was at the beginning of it, so it actually didn't have the e-reader bars on the sides of the cards. In any case, verse set has this verse symbol down here. That's the set symbol. Most of them also at this point in Japanese were first edition. The non-first edition, the unlimited, was actually rarer. There were fewer of those printed, so little difference compared to English sets from WotC or Wizards of the Coast, which had the first edition printed up here, right? I'm sure most of us know what that is. But these, like I said, a little different there. All right. So there were a series of 4 to 7, I believe. I think the max was 7 cards for each trainer. Rocket had some cards in here, just like in the first one. They're the only ones. I shouldn't say that. The Gen 1 trainers, they had some cards too, but not as many as the Gen 2 and the Elite 4. Love this one. I tried to get copies that have orbs. Also, every card, unlike the Gym series, the first Gen Gym series, every set of trainers' cards are done by the same artists, kind of like Pokemon 151 that we recently got. Entei there. And these are all, like I said, they're all done by the same artist. So that's pretty cool. That's one of the reasons I love this set so much. And when you see them all in a binder with the same artist, it really does look nice. I tried to get cards with orbs on them in interesting places. And so many of them do have that. Not all of them. Entei's Raikou. A Falkner, and these cards, by the way, they're not in any particular order, but Falkner was the first gym leader you faced in Gold and Silver, and he happens to be the first gym leader that we see here. Falkner's Fearow, Falkner's Dodrio, Togetic. The other cool thing about this set is that generally the trainers' cards are all the same type. So Falkner's there were all, they were all colorless, right? And Falkner's Delibird. And because it's here, we have Brock. Brock has two Mon. Oh, I missed one Falkner card. We've got the 2 fossils there for Brock. That's kind of cool. I actually missed 2 for Falkner, so we have Farfetch'd, and Faulkner's Skarmory. Now, not every gym leader has a holo, which is interesting, and not every gym leader has the same number. Faulkner's Skarmory. One of the less valued, apparently less desirable foils or holos from this set. Now we've got Bugsy, and I really like this style in the Pokemon for Bugsy. I really like this style of artwork. This is Kyoko Umemoya. It's very small, right down there, if you can read that. I work with computers so much now that my eyes are just tired most of the time, especially at the end of the day. I cannot read something that small. Now this Scizor I've had for a long time. And check out that swirl right there. Even Scizor knows that's good. Look at it. He's looking right at it. And when I tilt it back and you can see the design, Starburst right there, it's a swirl. Starburst, it's a swirl. People in the hobby have actually seen this and said, hey, I'll buy that off you. No. No. Thank you. I get it. But yeah, that is too cool. And there are a couple floating around eBay that have that placement as well. Really just perfect foil placement there. Bugsy's Ladian. And finishing up with Bugsy's Yanma. Seems like so far the trainers are actually in order. Now we've got Whitney. So Whitney Miltank. And I'm going to move a little quicker through these because this video, I don't have every card in the set, as I've mentioned, Wigglytuff. But there are probably about 110 of these. So we got to move. I don't want to make this 110 minutes long. Whitney's Lickitung. Whitney's a Clefable. Whitney's a Furt. Whitney's Persian. Now you saw Brock a moment ago. Here are Sabrina's cards. I actually like Sabrina's cards quite a bit. Sabrina's Xatu and Sabrina's Shiny Espeon. It doesn't say shiny, but it is shiny. And in this set, another reason I like this set so much, there are a couple shinies, which is pretty cool, including my favorite shiny card because of personal history, which I'll tell you when I get there. Morty's Gengar. Very valuable card. This was not very valuable, but more so than many others in the set, like most Gengars are. They are Gengars. Anyways, this was released in Pokemon Pocket, in the first set in Pokemon Pocket. So it got a digital reprint, but never a paper reprint. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Morty's Misdreavus. Morty's Hypno. I like this one a lot. Morty's Noctowl. Morty cards tend to be a little more valuable than some of the other ones. Not all of them, but more so than, say, like Bugsy or Whitney. Morty's a popular trainer. Ghost types, definitely good. This one is one of the more valuable Mortys. But again, not too well known of a set, so it's not particularly, nothing here is particularly valuable except for some of those foils. This one is not one of them. Morty's Murkrow. But it's a cool one. And Morty's Marowak. We've got some Ghastly in the back there. Cool stuff. Now we're getting out of order. Oh wait, are we? No, I think we're still in order because this is a Price. Wait, was it Price? Chuck. There we go. I'm like, Price was the, he's the ice. So Chuck, with the fighting types. So I think we're still actually in order because technically Jasmine came after Chuck, even though you met her before. You went to Cianwood in Gold and Silver. Chuck's Donphan. And we're also seeing a lot of Gen 2 Pokemon, because again, this is Gen 2. Chuck's Rhydon. Not all fighting types. This one's not. This is normal. I love this card, though. This is just different, and it's not really particularly valuable or popular, but I think it's a great card. Chuck's Granbull. And then this is Chuck's Taurus. And I did go in order by the order that you face them, starting off with Steelix for Jasmine. Now this one, I've got a nice X down there, and the tail has a little orb right on the end of it. I would have loved to have an orb there right on his nose, but Jasmine's Magneton. Now these, this set is a little hard to get cheaply because everybody wants graded card prices. I don't know why, but until recently, it's been very hard to find some of these. Like what? Like Surge's Raichu. It's like everybody wants, you know, that graded mint premium on like a PSA 8. It's like, what? So I do like that Electabuzz quite a bit. Jolteon for the Evolution fans. Evolution fans. What I think is funny too is that Jasmine's Pokemon are almost all electric, but she's a steel trainer. So that's kind of weird, but it is what it is. All right, so now we get to it. Price. This is Price, and this was my first shiny in Gold and Silver on the 16-bit. Was it 16-bit? 32-bit. Not hard gold, but plain Gold and Silver. I saw this. It popped up. It was shiny. It was a shiny Delibird. Popped up, and I said, "Why did it have little sparkles around it?" And if you know anything about Delibird, it runs on its first turn. So I attacked it, didn't kill it, all set up to catch the thing, and it ran away. So that was my first shiny, and it was pink, and this is a shiny Delibird. So this is my favorite shiny, and I do buy a lot of these when I get a chance, because I just like the card so much. But it's also Mitsuhiro Arita. You didn't think you'd get through a video with me without seeing Mitsuhiro Arita, did you? Not until we get to my Komiya videos will you see that. Of course, my Kawaii videos are there, but I'm not going to be doing those anymore. Just this and some Komiyas. Just Arita and Komiyas. This one I love because as I turn the card, you see the spiral, and then you realize that Sneasel realizes it found a wonderful little treasure in that nest right there. It was going to rob some eggs. Instead, it found a little forest sprite. Hey! So, good card. Not particularly valuable, one of the valuable foil hollows, but good nonetheless. Lapras there. Price is Cloyster. And my favorite Price card from this, my favorite card that Arita illustrated for this, I don't know, the Price Pokemon is this one here. Really nice Dugong. I really like this illustration. I like the colors, I like the lighting, good stuff. Not valuable, but that's not what matters. This is actually the valuable Price card from this little bunch. Price is Articuno. Arctic Uno. Alright. Now we have Misty cards, because why not? Fits with the color theme. Misty's Quagsire. And Misty's Lapras. And now, after Price, you would face Claire. So we have a bunch of dragons. We've got Claire's Kingdra. Claire's Gyarados. Claire's Dragonites. Claire's a Politoed. Claire's Jinx, and this one doesn't really fit the style of the other ones. I feel like it's a different style, same artist, but I just feel like the style is different. It's weird. Claire's Mantine. Claire's a Blastoise. Blastoise. The best of the original starters. Maybe not by type, but certainly by design. That's my opinion. Now we have another Xatu. This is Will. Now the Elite Four also got cards. In the Gym series, the Elite Four did not get cards. So this is kind of cool. So Will's got one there. Or Will has a Xatu there. This Will's Jinx is actually pretty hard to find in a good condition, oddly enough. And I do like that quite a bit. This one's popular, not as popular as Sabrina's Espeon, but this is Will's Espeon, not shiny. Here we have Will's Slowbro, and we also got Will's Slowking in the same set there. Girafarig. And Executor. Now this next one, these are Bruno, and oddly enough, these are actually pretty, they're a little more valuable. I think it's great. It's Yukamori. She does the clay models. They all have boulders, which I think is funny. It's just a ball clay. But you got Hitmonlee there, Hitmonchan, and I love that the simplicity of this, combined with the fact that they are a little more valuable, I think that's just hilarious. Hitmontop, but I like them a lot. Steelix. So I get 2 Steelixes. Count them. 2. Woohoo! I get 2 Steelixes in this collection. And that is great for me. This one has an orb right there. Steelix is looking right at it. He's like, with his derpy, toothy grin. Orb. But that's cool. I think that clay model fits Steelix perfectly. Ursaring. And Machamp. Now we have Janine. Now Janine, if I remember correctly, she took over the Fuchsia City Gym in Gold and Silver. She gets, because while she's not one of the Gen 2, she's not a Johto gym leader, she gets her own full set of cards, which is weird, but because I think they said, well, she's a new trainer, she hasn't gotten a full set. So that's what they did. Koga has just 2, like some of the old trainers. So that's an interesting little like split they did with the 2 of them. This is, whoop, knocked the camera there. This is Janine's Crobat. I'm going to throw up Koga's Crobat right here, because I don't want to get out of order. And back to Janine again. Sorry about jumping back and forth between the different styles. Janine's Venomoth. Janine's Arbok. And you might have noticed, this is Komiya. Tomokazu Komiya. Weezing. Love that. Beedrill. And one of the hardest to grade cards in the set is Shuckle. Janine Shuckle, I think it's a great card. I love how he's just struggling for all that he's worth. This has Komiya written all over it. So very nice card there. Happy to have that in there. And then Erica gets 2 cards. We're getting close to the end, people. Looks like we're only at about 9 minutes. Or 7 minutes? Oh, 19, excuse me. Woo! Yeah, this is going, but hey, we're here for the long haul. This is the whole set, baby. Surge's Raichu, we've been robbed. Gen 1ers, we have yet to get a Lieutenant Surge, full art. Let's go back to that Surge's Raichu for a second. Nice. It's a nice Raichu. I feel like we don't get a lot of nice Raichus. Blaine gets 2. I'm going to start doing the small ones 2 at a time. Blaine gets 2 cards there. He gets a Typhlosion and a Magicargo, neither of which he had in the original game. But he might have had them in Gold and Silver. I'm actually not sure. And Karen, a fan favorite. And these are Kusajima, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they are. Hajime Kusajima. Also a fan favorite. He no longer does illustrations, it seems. Flareon. Fairly desirable one. Karen's cards tend to be a little more valuable, and she's also the only one that has 2 foils. She gets 2 holos. This fan favorite Umbreon, I'm actually not as big a fan of this one. It's nice, but it's not like super good. I liked it when I first started collecting, but as time has gone on, it's not quite as much. And Tyranitar, and I think there's a spiral up there next to him somewhere. Anyways, it's hard to see looking in the camera screen. Now we have Lance, and this is Ayakusube for these illustrations. So Lance is Gyarados, Kingdra, 2 Gyarados, 2 Kingdra in this set. Lance is Charizard. Of course that's popular, because it's a Charizard. Lance is Dragonite, 2 Dragonites in this set as well. Lance's Aerodactyl. And finishing off the video with Lance's Ampharos. Alright, so thanks for joining me for a look at my favorite historic TCG set and vintage at the same time. This was, and is, Verse Set. Hope you enjoyed, everybody, and I will see you next time. Peace, long life. Bye-bye.